Are you on video?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey folks, what we're going to do this morning is make French toast. And I say morning, it's actually noon. This is going to be lunch for us, but we're calling it brunch. It's COVID brunch. I thought since we made this bread the other day, it might be good to have something to do with leftover bread. Like you're going to have leftover bread. The only reason we have leftover bread is because I made a bunch to shoot that video. Because I wanted to make sure I got a good video for you guys. So we've got some leftover bread. I thought it might be good to make some French toast with it. This is a really easy recipe. Now, I've got a little twist on it that's my personal twist, but it's a really easy recipe. It involves milk and cream, eggs, seasonings, and the bread, and that's really all there is to it. We're going to start by putting 2 eggs in the pan. Now, I know everybody will tell you, crack your eggs into a separate dish, otherwise you're going to end up with shells, and that's a mess, and I'm a gambler. So I'm not doing that. I'm cracking my eggs directly into my pan. And this is a large, wide pan so that there's plenty of room to get that bread in there to soak. See, I'm a gambler, and oh, I lost my gamble. There's a piece of shell in here, but luckily it's a big piece of shell, so I can get it out. That's why you always crack your eggs into a separate container, so you don't have to deal with that. Now, what you do is you take your eggs, puncture them, and mix them up a little bit, so you're not looking for a whipped scrambled egg. You just want it mixed up real good. To that, you are going to add your milk, your dairy. Now, a lot of recipes call for milk, and some recipes call for cream. I combine the two because I like rich foods. That's kind of my thing. So I go with a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And yes, you can tell that is very heavy cream. That is just almost whipped cream at this point. And then another 1/4 cup of just plain old milk. And I'm using 2% here. It doesn't matter what you've got. If you've got whole milk, if you've got skim milk, or Blue John, as the old folks used to call it. You can use either of those. But get those in there, get them mixed up real good, get that egg integrated in there really well. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to season this, because this is your egg mixture. But you need some kind of flavor in there other than just the eggs, milk, and cream. So, of course, you can go with a little vanilla. Vanilla is always good. Now, this is Griffin's vanilla. They are not a sponsor, but I love Griffin's stuff. Their syrups are good. Their vanilla is really good. I love it all. So, go 2 full teaspoons of vanilla. I will tell you, I have used orange extract in this, and it is delicious. If you happen to have some old orange extract laying around, I've got some from the 60s because my mother never threw anything away. And it's still good, believe it or not. I'll have to use that for another recipe of some kind. But get that vanilla extract all mixed in there real good. And then most recipes call for cinnamon. This is where I differ a little bit. Oh, I am... well, some people would call me basic because of my love for pumpkin spice. And I know it's not Christmas, it's not anywhere close to Christmas, but I've got pumpkin spice in the cabinet, and so I'm going to use pumpkin spice in my French toast. Go 1 full tablespoon of pumpkin spice in there, and pumpkin spice, if you don't know, it's cinnamon, allspice, a little ginger, nutmeg, that kind of thing. So it's exactly the same kind of spice that your cinnamon would be. It's just got more flavors and a bigger profile. So I really like it. So that you mix up really well. And now the dunk. You take your slices of bread. I use about a, what is that, a 1/2 inch slice, maybe about a 1/2 inch slice. Slice it up real good. It does not matter if your bread's on the drier side because you're about to moisten it. My bread still has a little moisture to it just because I just cooked it yesterday and it's still fairly fresh. But what you're going to do is you're going to lay that into your milk mixture. and let it soak for a moment. While you're letting it soak, go ahead and preheat your pan. I like to use cast iron for this. Great heat retention, does really well. I have pre-cooked sausage because I'm going to have sausage with French toast. And so I've got a little bit of sausage grease left in here. I'm going to add a little olive oil just to make sure that we've got a nice non-stick surface to both of these. And I'm going to turn it on. Now, I don't know how your oven is. You're going to have to play with your oven and figure that out. But for me, I put it at about a 3. And that's going to be about right for me for making French toast. Now, I'm going to turn the bread over because it has soaked up a good bit of that egg mixture at this point. Turn it over there and let it continue to soak. This is set up for making 8 pieces of bread. That's whether you're using regular store-bought full-size slices or you're slicing your own. This is going to be plenty for 8 slices of bread. Now, when your pan is hot enough, and I've got my handy-dandy thermometer here to be able to tell. Yes, that's the word I could not remember if you watched one of my previous episodes. This is a thermometer, not a temperature thingy. I'm looking for something right at 300 degrees because that's going to get that oil just hot enough that I don't have to worry about it sitting there and steaming as opposed to cooking. So when that gets there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my French toast, I'm going to shake it off a little bit just so it doesn't have a bunch of egg dripping down off of it, and lay it over in my pan and let it cook. While it's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and lay a couple more pieces of bread into the egg mixture so that they are ready to go for the next round. Okay, so it just takes a couple of minutes on each side. What you're doing is you're looking to get a nice little crust on there, if you can see that. It's got that eggy, crusty. What you're doing by making the egg mixture and letting it soak into the bread and then cooking the outside edge is you're making a custard, a bread custard in the center of that French toast. And that is part of what makes this so delicious, is you've got fried bread, you've got fried egg, and you've got custard all in one dish. And it is just delicious. So it just takes a couple of minutes on each side. We're going to give it a couple of minutes on this other side. I've already got my others in here soaking. I think I mentioned that earlier. And that is your French toast. Now, I like to pair mine with a little bit of sausage. Now, of course, French toast wouldn't be French toast without a little powdered sugar on top. Now, there are people that will tell you you have to take and tap the side of a little sieve to get your powder. No, I just take a little pinch and sprinkle it over the top, just like that. Works just as well, looks just like Christmas landed, and it's snowing on your French toast. Just as good as any kind of sieve will. That's your French toast. I'm going to add a little Griffin syrup. Again, not sponsored. I just happen to like their products. And then I get to try some of this nice fried eggy on the outside, nice custardy on the inside from the bread we made the other day. Delish.